All right, guys. So again, open your notes packet. We're looking at page 8. We already did numbers 1 through 4 the other day. Now we're going to take things to that next level. One more step up. All right, so as we continue our equation solving, today we're going to look at something that we had a little preview for the other day with our emoji worksheet. Anybody guess what it is? We see some parentheses there. What property do we use when we see those parentheses? Sam?
It's like a cat. Arithmetic cat, but mine something.
Starts with a D. It means we're going to multiply, but they may know the name of that property. It starts with a D. We're not going to divide. We're going to multiply. It starts with a D. You know what, Sam? Distribute. Yeah, we're going to distribute. It's the distributive property. So it's the distributive property is what it's called. But more importantly, what it does is what John told us. He said we need to multiply. So the first thing we want to do, if we go back up to our steps, the other day it was bothering some of you that we didn't need step 1. But that's why it says right here, if needed. Not all equations are going to have those parentheses. Not all those equations are we going to distribute. Now we get to. So let's take a look at number 5. So as I take a look at number 5, I want to, step 1 says, if we've got to distribute, we distribute first. So let's go ahead. I like to draw little arrows when I distribute. If I have 7 times x, all I can do is put a 7x. I can't do anything else with that. I can't do anything else with that. Then I go to my second value in those parentheses. And here's where we have to be careful. Those positive and negative signs, or addition and subtraction, some of us were getting stuck on that. With our last round of equation solving, we were forgetting to take the sign with it. So when I multiply 7 times 6, I can throw that in the calculator if I need to. I'm going to get 42. But what's super important is it's a minus 42. Subtraction has to stick around. Some of us were getting tripped up with that with our last round of equation solving. We weren't taking that sign with it. And then we have our equals negative 14. Now we're just 2 little steps away and we've got our answer. What do I do next though? Do I worry about that subtraction or do I worry about the 7 in front of the x? What do I worry about next? What do we think? What do we worry about next? Do we do addition? Subtraction? What do we do next? What are we going to do, guys?
Remember, we have to get the x by its
We're going to do addition, right? Our rules say we have to undo that addition or subtraction. So to undo subtracting 42, we're going to add it. We're going to add it over there. What's left over here on the left is 7x. Then on the other side, again, guys, here's where some of us were getting stuck. We weren't paying attention to those signs. It's a negative 14 plus 42. We've got to watch those signs. Some of us in our last round of equation solving would have told me that the right side is equal to 56. I have to be careful. It's not equal to 56. It's equal to 28. So we have to be very careful and make sure that we're watching our signs. I believe everybody in this room knows the steps. I do. Based on working with you guys the last few classes, looking at quizzes, you guys know the steps. We just get those signs lost sometimes and then we end up with the wrong answer. So pay attention to what's in front of those numbers or variables. How do I finish it off? Divide by 7. Okay, and x equals a nice 4 for us. Now, here's the great thing. We can still check. Some of you are asking me, Miss Golly, how'd I do on my quiz? How'd I do on my quiz? You should have known before you handed it in to me. Remember, we don't have to make checking a lot of work. No matter how big the equation is, no matter how many steps we had to do, let the calculator do the check for you. Put exactly what you see in your calculator. Put exactly what you see, parentheses and all. Put it in there. And you will come up with negative 14 equals negative 14. Just put that whole thing, parentheses and all. That's the cool thing about the calculators we have. Everything stays right on your screen. It's got parentheses. It's got it all for you. It's got it all. All right, I want to give you guys a chance. This is just kind of starting us off nice and slow using that distributive property. We will keep building today, but I want to focus on finishing off these 3 problems. So let's try 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8. You should be able to check as you go.
Break after that? So that's your ticket to a break. You have to do all 3 problems and then.
All right, so number 6, we're going to go ahead. The 16 equals stays. We're going to distribute first. Negative 2 times k is negative 2k. Negative 2 times 9, we get a negative 18. And you can write that right as a minus 18. If you want to do plus a negative, you can. Now we just have a 2-step to solve. We undo our subtraction first. We use addition. So we end up with 34 equals, and I know I talked at the beginning of that other example, and throughout the other example, we have to watch our signs. It's a negative 2k. Now we divide by negative 2 both sides. Negative 17 equals k. I know some of you are asking me as you go, Miss Golly, did I do it right? The check, it's pretty simple. Popping this into your calculator is going to be about as quick as you waiting for me to come over and check. So 16 equals 16. You don't have to do all that computation out by hand or put it step by step in the calculator. Put the whole thing right in at once, parentheses, negative signs and all. Number 7, the negative 52 and the equal sign, they're going to stay put. On the right side, I see the parentheses, which is telling me I need to distribute. 4 times 3 is going to give me 12n. 4 times 1, we're going to get that minus 4. Watch your signs. We do need the minus there. The 12n and the 4, I can't combine them. They're not like terms. I undo my subtraction by using addition. And we end up with negative 48 equals 12n. To undo 12 times n, we divide by 12. Negative 4 is our n. Again, super easy. Let the calculator do the work. Put in all the parentheses that you see, and you will get negative 52 equals negative 52. Last but not least, don't let the fraction worry you. You could use the ABC key on your calculator, or somebody suggested that they knew that negative 1/2 was just negative 0.5. You could use that as well, or you can use the ABC key on your calculator. Negative 1/2 times 12 is negative 6. We have a p with that. Now we have a negative 1/2, and we have a negative 42. So we're going to get a positive 21. And we just have our equals negative 33. Subtract 21 from both sides. Negative 6p equals negative 54. Again, watch your signs. Those are both negatives. Divide by negative 6. We get that P equals 9. So be very careful with your signs. That's where some of you are getting a little bit stuck. We're leaving a negative sign out here or there, and then we go to check and we don't have the right answer. So again, just be super careful with those negative signs. We go to the back side of that sheet, page 9. We're going to continue with our distributing, but now we're going to have to combine it with what we did the last few classes with combining our like terms. So let's look at number 9.
Number 11.
In number 9, step 1 says we have to distribute if needed. How do I know I would need to distribute? What's part of my question if I need to distribute? The parentheses. Those are new for us. We haven't distributed until today. So the parentheses tell me, yep, hey, I've got to distribute first. So let's go ahead and do that in number 9. You guys all just showed me you can do that on that last set of questions. So 5 times y is just 5y. I can't do anything else. And then I have 5 times, remember guys, we have to look at the sign in front. So we've got that minus there. So 5 times 2 is 10, but that minus has to stay. There's where we have to be careful. And for some of us, if we got stuck on those last 3 or 4 problems, it was because of our sign. That's kind of been our, I would say, our battle in here the whole time. Yeah, question?
Wouldn't you do like 5 times -2?
I did. 5 times -2 would be...
No, but like on the calculator you do 5 times -3.
Yep, you could do 5 times -2 in your calculator, yep. You sure can, and we'll get that -10. Now, the 5, though, only goes to the stuff in the parentheses. That -7y, it's just going to hang out. And then we have equals -32. So make sure you have that first step down. I know some of us just kind of sit and wait, and then I'll tell you, hey, guys, go ahead and try the next one, and you don't have anything written down for number 9. These are getting a little more complex, so it's going to be tougher. It's going to be tougher to try to catch back up. When we did the one-step equations, if you kind of, waited and waited, it wasn't too tough to catch up, but these have multiple steps. Again, the big thing to note, this 5 only gets distributed to the stuff in the parentheses. The -7y we don't touch yet. Now that we've distributed, now it looks just like a question from our quiz yesterday. What can we put together on the left?
The y's.
The y's. This looks just like a question from our quiz yesterday. I can put the y's together, but again, where some of you got stuck, you forgot to look at the sign in front. So I can put together, it's a +5, but it's a -7. I can put those two together because they both have y's. They're like terms. And based on our quizzes, we understand that. But we have to watch the sign. So +5 and -7, it's going to give me -2y. Not 12, not +2, but a -2. We have to be careful. I know based on quizzes, you all know to combine those two terms. We have to watch the signs, though. That's what's tripping some of us up. On that left side, we also still have -10. So once we get past the distributing part, now they look just like equations that you all solved yesterday on your quiz. So that new piece we added today, we kind of keep adding something new every couple of classes. We add one more piece to this equation solving deal. Once we distribute, now it looks like a question from our quiz yesterday. So let's go ahead and finish it off. We undo subtraction. We undo subtraction. Be careful, it's a negative 2y. Negative 32 plus 10, negative 22. Not negative 44, or excuse me, not negative 42. Not positive 22. My negative didn't come down? What is going on with this thing? Things are blinking and... All right, then we divide by negative 2. Y equals positive 11. Usually after it blinks, it comes back. Now, some of you might be thinking, Miss Callie, how can I check this? I'll be honest, I'm kind of running out of space in that box. I'm going to go over here to the left to do my check. Don't let it be looking like a longer problem stop you from checking. I have a 5. I have a parenthesis. Instead of y, I'm going to put 11. Minus 7. Instead of y, I put 11. Put this side in your calculator. Every parenthesis you see, subtraction, whatever you've got, put that entire left side in. All I did to check, any place I saw a y, I put an 11 instead. Any place I saw a y, I put an 11 instead. Now, usually at this point, I would say, hey, let's go ahead and try those next few. But I want to make sure everybody's okay with the first step on question 10, then I am going to turn you loose to do a few yourself. Why do you think I want to walk through question 10 with you?
Because it's easy.
Because it has a fraction. Now, most of us, that last set of questions, question number 8 had a fraction. And once we kind of refamiliarized ourselves with the calculator, we were okay with it. So I want to make sure I get the first step from 10 rocking for you, and I'm going to turn it over to you. The negative 3 just stays. 2/3 I have to distribute. So if you need to on the calculator, 2, ABC key, and then 3 times 6. You should get 4. Then again, 2, ABC, 3. And then we have to do times 42. Then we have to do times 42. Should be 28. Now, what sign, though, is going in front of that 28? Minus. And now we equal negative 51. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and finish this one off from there. So if you're unsure, then it's a great time to ask. Remember, you're going to combine your like terms. I don't have any other things with ends, but I sure have a negative 3 and a negative 28 I can put together. All right, what I want you guys to try, let's keep chunking this. Let's get up through number 12. So let's finish off 10, 11, 12. Let's finish that off. I'm going to go ahead, guys. I'm going to finish off number 10 up here just so you can check your number 10 and have that confidence. Like, yeah, I'm ready to move on to 11. Some of you got stuck in 10. You're like, Miss Skylar, there's only one end there. Yeah, that's okay. So the 4 end just hangs out. Negative 3 and negative 28. Again, here's where some of us are getting stuck is that sign. Negative 3, negative 28, negative 31. Undo our subtraction. Undo our subtraction. 4n equals, be careful on your signs. Negative 51 plus 31, it's still going to be negative. It's going to be a negative 20. Be careful with your signs. I think every person that I just helped with this question, the issue they were having was something to do with their signs. Divide by 4. And again, we have to be careful. Negative 20 divided by 4. You guys have your calculators. Most of you are using them every step of the way, and that's great. Make sure you've got the signs in there, though. Negative 20 divided by 4, I should get negative 5. I should get negative 5. So go ahead. Again, we want to try to finish up 11 and 12. I just wanted to make sure I finished off number 10. So if you were stuck and maybe didn't ask, you can see if you've got it. So go ahead and move on to 11. I'm going to go ahead and put number 11 up so you can check. And I'm probably actually going to go ahead and put number 12 up too, because most of you are on your last one. That's awesome, guys. We are...
Negative 2? No, negative 12 plus 2.
Again, the mistakes that I'm seeing, guys, are all involving paying attention to the sign that's in front of your number, your variable. So I'm just putting the steps up. I know you guys should be able to check yourself, but I know some of us just like that reassurance of, I saw the steps, either Miss Golly put them up or one of my peers put them up. I just want that double check, like, yep, I got this right. I am going to go ahead and put the steps up for 12. So if you're still finishing 12, keep going. Again, watch your signs. Positive 21, but it's a negative 13 you're putting it with. Watch your signs. I think all of you out there truly believe you all know the steps.
I'm alright so far.
So see how you're doing on those, guys? Finish up those. And then next class, we will finish up the bottom 4. And then we'll get you a chance to get some more practice on these. I know these are going to take us some practice, and they take some time to do, and that's okay. So make sure before you leave today that you have up through number 12 all finished.